How's it going, everyone? I want to do a quick update on one of my favorite stocks that I'm watching on January 16th. We played this one in the Discord. We got in very early at 1.89, and that is ticker KULR. So I'm going to discuss why I look for my entries, what I'm looking to do, and kind of is this going to keep uptrending, or could this be a fake pump and a drop? So let's get into the chart here. This is how I have my chart laid out. I use Webull. It's very clean. I put the darkest setting. But basically, like I said before, plot your EMAs. These are going to be your areas of interest, and we look for the major areas. And if you do a lot of back tests, you're going to understand. I'm going to talk about skipping EMAs a lot. I've seen really good success with that. But the chart has to hit this upper band. There is no entry till we hit an upper band. So when minute I see that price can hit this upper band, I know it's extremely bullish. And then I look for the pullbacks. Okay, a lot of people look to get in a breakout and they chase this. We want to look for the retest type pattern. So if I see we hit this upper Keltner channel, which is at an ATR 4, so that's my magic setting of being like, yeah, that's extremely bullish. And then make sure your EMA 50 is at the bottom. If you wanted to get in KULR in hindsight, this is the areas that you get in. So you do the research, you like the company, good news. Right in here was your first buy entry at this EMA 10. You see how you skip the 5 and you go to the 10 and you make 39%. I always take 10% because I don't want to make it confusing for people and be like, well, when do I look to get out? And should I go here? I can use different areas that I'm going to show you in this video. That's a good area to look for interest besides just 10%. But me personally, I don't think it's bad to say, hey, if you're up 10%, usually you're going to get these 10% gainers in my channel literally the same day or the next day because these are high value of interest. So, then price comes all the way back to the 50. So you see how you skip the 5, you go to the 10, and the 10 gives you the bounce on this yellow band. And then here's your 20, this dark blue. I'm going to skip the 20, and I'm going to play the 50. And the reason why I do that is, what if you play every EMA level? It doesn't make sense because, yes, all these EMAs can be good areas of interest. We don't know where the algo is going to pump it big. It could have pumped it big on 10 and made a big massive up from there. It decided to come back down. So that's why I say only play it one time. So if it comes back to the 10, you don't play it again, okay? You play it on the 10, take your quick money. If it comes back, that's bearish, okay? Just like if it pumped on this 50 and came back to the 50, that's bearish. That means it's retesting a pattern to break a new low. So that's why there's like some psychology into that. And I know people are like, oh, it could be a double bottom. Don't. To me, it's just bearish. So we hit this 10, make a NASA pump, hit the 50, and you make your 10% easy. But here's the thing. You're like, well, you missed out on all these gains. So here's the secret that I've learned to get rid of all emotions from trading. Once you make your 10%, you need to take the profit no matter what. And if you have 1,000 shares, it doesn't matter how you do it, but you need to take profit. It can be 80% of your shares you take off. I do 90% because I go bigger size, and that 10% is very nice to hold. So I take 90% of my shares off, and then keep in mind, your entry is right here on the EMA 50, so you put a stop loss a penny above it. So 0.319, you'll put it as 32 cents, your stop loss. And guess what? It never hits it, and you just keep holding this thing till you make massive gains. And you can trail and stop it. I highly recommend it. Trail and stop it as price goes up, because you don't want it to go, if let's say you're up 100% and then goes back to 32 cents, right? It's like for this example here, you bought it right here on the EMA 10, and then price goes all the way back down to your 10. So as every time you hit this upper band, you reset the pattern, right? It hits the upper band, comes back to the 10, takes the bounce, never goes to the 50. That's totally fine. Reset the strategy, it hits the upper band. We come back to what again, guys? The EMA 10. Where do you make your bounce? Right in here, you make your 20%. And that's why I say always take the 10. You don't know how big this is going to bounce. A lot of people did not expect this go to $5, a buck 80. A lot of people were pumping this massive. So I'm just making this update, and you'll see plenty of stocks that perfected this. I got in right here on this EMA 50. Did I get the absolute bottom? It doesn't matter. It got to 181. But here's the stop loss scenario. You always do around 10 to 15%. Me personally, I like 15%. If price goes this much lower, and it has to close, so if I see a daily candle close under the EMA 50, that is red flags, okay? You need to get out, and if it's in, you need to put a stop loss of 15%, okay? If a daily candle, I repeat, closes under your EMA 50 or closes under your EMA 10, if you got in right here, Like this candle right here, you need to start getting out. Sure, it did go up a bit and you could have got this, but this don't happen all the time. But then again, you would have never got in this because you played the 10, you got out. If it retested it, it's bearish. So we got in here with proof in the Discord. You can look at the swing trade alerts. I can type in KULR, search it, and I'll see if I can find it. Actually, I could probably just zoom up here. But if you go all the way back to my alerts here, yeah, right here on 113 around 9:46 in the morning, I alerted this thing that says, hey, if it goes back to this EMA 50, now, did I think it was going to get this in 2 days? Not really, but, definitely if it takes that, I want to go it. And that's why I alerted to this right here. Hey, we're on EMA 50. I'm going to buy it here at 1.89. Price has skipped the EMA 20 and it's headed towards the EMA 50. Could this have absolutely failed on me? Absolutely. I'm not saying this is going to work every time, but I am saying your chances of winning is massive. So you're taking a 15% stop loss if it closes below, and then you're looking for, look at your gain potentials. You're getting 45%, guys. All right. And then, like you say, you trail and stop it. I'm still in a position at 189. I'm trailing stop it. I put my stop up into the 225 region. So if it goes up and below this 225 and breaks this strong support right in here we have, then yes, I'll get stopped out. And that's still a massive gain. 189 from here is an 18% on the rest of my shares. Or this could keep going up and make massive gains. So the reason of this video is to discuss what happens when you get to these lower EMAs. So if you hit this EMA 50, you're going to start to see the upper EMAs act as resistance. For example, let me show you. We hit this 10 and we go all the way down because we went back. This EMA 5 acts as resistance. When you get to this very bottom EMA 50, you're going to see the EMA 5, 20, and 10 at the top. When I start seeing price do this, if you see right here, price is right on this EMA 10. You see literally how perfect algos are? They touch it and it rejects. We get near the 10 and it rejects. So, this is, I always look at the top EMA and be like, okay, that could be a strong selling point. And so, if this does collapse on me, I'm going to put my stop below the low of these 3 candles here. If it goes all the way down, that's totally fine. Now, you might ask, well, will you buy it again if it touches this EMA 50? No, because according to my rules, it has to retest this upper Keltner channel to reset the patterns. Then I go to the 10, and then I go back to the 50, okay? I hope that clarifies everything. So I'm not going to, because if it does a retest, then it's bearish. I don't like that. If this truly is a massive uptrend, and it truly is strong support, and it truly is bullish, this should, one, consolidate, or just go back up. So I'm thinking this is looking good, where we had this dead cat bounce. We had this long lower wick. It's a bullish candle. It's a bullish hammer. And then we should break this EMA 10. Do I expect resistance here? Yes. I expect to touch it and reject. Then I expect the next day to touch it and reject. And then I eventually hope that we eventually go up. Okay, we break out. All right, so that's my analogy on KULR. I am still in the play. I'm at 1.89. I sold 90% of my shares at 10% gain. Yes, I look like an idiot when it pumps 45%. But not too much of an idiot because I'm also holding some of my shares. I have, if you have 1,000 shares, you sell 900, you hold 100. If you want to do 80%, that's fine. Sell 800 shares, hold 200. But I promise you, that's the process of this, because I see many times where I've seen a lot of stocks just give me that 10%. And I could be left with a minus 15% stop loss instead of taking that 10%. So that's the way I'm doing it. You guys can all have your own plans. I try to be straight up forward. We all have different personalities. Some are more riskier. I'm a very conservative player, so that's how I like to do it. Hope you guys liked this video. If you guys want to join the premium Discord, click the link down below in YouTube comments below, and in the description will say join the premium Discord for my alerts and system. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. If you want access to everything, please read how to subscribe. There is rules for an Android. Since they're having issues with Android, you will have to use your computer to subscribe or just use your phone's browser. But it's all laid out. Avoid scammers. I know we're growing as a Discord, so there's going to be a lot of people that try to impersonate me. I'll never message you or DM you first or even trade your accounts. That's not going to happen. But if you hit day trade alerts on this under this subscriptions tab, you're going to get access to the whole membership. It'll say, hey, would you like to subscribe? And get this, it's $12 a month for literally two great services that's going to give you guys one of the highest win ratios. My day trading service alone, we're on a massive win streak right now, doing a very unique strategy that you probably never heard of. And how do you make passive income every day? My swing trade strategy is really good too. This is my swing trade strategy on how to trade an uptrend. We buy at the 50, buy at the 10. We look for the skipping the EMA, and we obviously have to combine other indicators like Keltner channel to say, hey, how bullish is this uptrend, right? So you're gonna get two services, $12 a month. And I highly recommend the Day and Swing Trading Plus. If you just want swing trades, it's $6 a month just by clicking Swing Trade Alerts. But both services, you're going to get the bundle with the Day and Swing Trading Plus. I think you guys are going to really like my day trading service, so give it a try. I'll give you just a preview of what the Swing Trade Alerts are in. Right now, I bought RVSN after hours under $1. I'm up 10%. So this is what I will say. I said I'm up 10%. That means you should... That means that I'm taking it out. I'm not a financial advisor, so I take out my 90%. Why did I like RVSN? And just a preview of this, it's going to be the same thing. I'm not going to go against the rules. I'm going to do exactly how I teach here. I liked RVSN because it hit the CMA 50 after hours. This EMA 50 was at 95 cents. So I said, if price comes into this loading zone, I'm buying it. Price dipped below $1, and I said, hey, 95 to 99 is the load zone for RVSN. It had good news. Everything's good. Fundamentally sound company. Gain compliance, and that's the same thing I saw with KULR. Good company coming to a nice level. I think this consolidates, and I think we break out. But if we don't break out of this EMA 10, you better be sure I have a stop loss on the remainder of my shares. I'm not going to lose on this trade. This is playing with house money now. I took my gains. Now it's just how much more money I make. It's not what if I make money. It's just how much more I make. And that's the kind of the thought process I want people to get in. I don't want people to be like, oh, I want 100%. Just stop being the gambler and kind of look into what your future is, because if you want to trade long term, you got to get that mindset out. Okay, so I hope you guys join the Discord, like this video, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.